out there in the land of YouTube. This is Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. It's Monday. Let's see. I'm going to wait just a little bit for people to show up so I'm not talking to the wall. Say hi to each other. Let me know how your weekend went. Let me know how you're holding up with all the news. There's so much news. It's hard to cover it all. We live in unusual times. There is Sherry saying hi. It's been a weird Mercury retrograde thus far. I gotta tell you, Mercury retrograde is usually not an issue for me. It really isn't. So let me know how your Mercury retrograde's going. But apparently there's like 7 planets that are retrograde in addition. So it's insane. The whole world has gone crazy. We just need for it to like not go so crazy. Just for a few minutes. For just a few minutes, we need for the whole world not to be going bananas. So I recommend, hi Christine, good to see you. I recommend, this has been my experience, during this Mercury and 7 other planets, from as my understanding, retrograde. If things aren't working out, and I'm glad, I need to practice what I preach. If things aren't working out, if schedules aren't working out, if communication isn't working out, if things just aren't working, just take a nap. Just like get your expectations to be lower. That's really what I can say. And if you tend towards workaholism, hang on, I'm getting the light a little better. I don't consider myself a workaholic, even though I'm always at work. Anyway, it's just because I love to work. But if you're kind of addicted to productivity, it can be tough. If you're addicted to gotta be productive, it can be tough. All this retrograde motion can be tough. So you just go. Either it's not meant to be, like Christine is suggesting, or just pass out. Just pass out. We'll get to the news in a minute. We're just prefacing it with how to relax. I think that's a good way to start. Everybody right now, whatever you're doing, just stop and take a deep breath in and hold it, and a really long, even longer than the inhalation breath out. And just, if it just gets to be too much, just watch your breath. Sadhguru taught us that. You know, Sadhguru is over here on my left. He's always here, always with us. Clean your closet. I know. And today just felt like a good day to do that. So I might do that tomorrow. I might do cleaning tomorrow. Like if nothing else is working, just, clean and organize. And I think that for me, I notice it, I always pay attention to how people are driving. So when Mercury's retrograde and there's a full moon coming, when there's lots going on astrologically, especially around the full moon, just think about this. If your Mercury retrograde time is just bananas, then imagine other people, times like millions upon millions of people also going through the same thing. And you'll understand that people are going to drive really impatiently. I was just kind of, driving today, and there was a little traffic jam, and people just started laying on the horns, and I was like, everybody be cool. Be cool, my babies, right? Conan O'Brien used to say that. Be cool, my babies. Beautiful day here too, kind of overcast and not overcast, and the temperature has cooled down significantly. I did jot some notes down just because there's so many things going on. Gloria, I'm not talking about people always driving crazy. I'm talking about notably more crazy. We know people always drive crazy, believe me. I'm in the Boston area, right, Christine? Kind of known for that. Oh, and Warren's giving us the astrology report. Mercury's retrograde until the 15th, and Venus is retrograde also. Uranus goes retrograde today. I noticed that. Neptune is retrograde until December 7th, and Pluto is retrograde until January. And tomorrow, Kathy Beal, our resident astrologer, and myself are having our Spirit Talk podcast discussion about all of these things. All of these things in the sky. When I was growing up, there was I wonder if anybody in the chat knows about this. There was an astrologer on the local rock and roll Boston channel. And he called himself, it was Daryl Martini, the Cosmic Muffin. Christine, do you remember, Christine lives here. Remember Daryl Martini, the Cosmic Muffin, in between the Aerosmith songs? And the Led Zeppelin? And Daryl Martini had a slogan, and he said, "It's a wise person who rules the stars. It's a fool who's ruled by them." Still remember that? Remember that one? So we recognize what's going on astrologically, but we don't let our lives be controlled by it. I'm just giving you tips as to how to cope when things aren't going swimmingly. Speaking of swimmingly, this not new moon, we did that already this month. The second full moon of the month is happening on Wednesday. Technically, 9:36 p.m. Eastern Time. We have do you remember that, Christine? That saying? We have a full moon in the sign of Pisces. No, full moon, not new moon. Warren, the new moon was 2 weeks ago. Comes back again next month. On this planet, anyway. I'm shuffling vigorously and I haven't asked a question yet. Yeah, full moon. I said new moon by mistake, too. Okay, so where do I begin? I just want to say that it's really fascinating to me that Donald Trump and all his cohorts are going around completely offended and just incensed about that they are being cited and called out for the heinous crimes against America that they all committed together. This behavior of, how could you, how dare you prosecute me? How dare you investigate us? How dare you say we need to show up for trial at court? How dare you decide when it's going to be? How dare you do your job? That's really all they're saying to all the justice departments, all of them. How dare you? And it gets to a point where it's like, do you think that we should just not have any laws, or that the laws just don't apply? It's worse than not taking responsibility. It's like, I'm entitled, and what are you? I'm entitled, and what are you? They think they're above the law. So now the GOP in Georgia, well, I've known this, and people mention it in the chat all the time. It's just absolutely infuriating. I mentioned one night, I get really infuriated when I even see the question come up. What's going to happen? Are they going to remove, are the fascists going to remove Fani Willis from the case? The GOP is absolutely lawless. Yeah, and it's just like they can't be subtle about it. So they're not going to be able to remove Fani Willis. We just have to keep our eye on the ball. Here's another thing we have to keep an eye on the ball about. We need to have the secretaries of state in each and every state. We need to write to them. These are the things we talk about at Grassroots Democracy. We see problems, we find solutions. The secretaries of state can vie for and for enforcing the 14th Amendment, Section 3, which states that anyone who gives aid and comfort and even participates in an insurrection and gives aid and comfort to the insurrectionists is not qualified to hold public office. And there are many members of Congress, over 100, I think like 140, that were part of the insurrection. So we have a problem on our hands, and the problem is that fascist forces are attempting to take over our government, and we need to stop them. And the one that's on the way to stop them, that's on the table right now, and to stop Donald Trump, is to get that 14th Amendment in effect. That is what it's for. I know, the seagulls agree. That is what it's for. That's why the Founding Fathers put it in the Constitution. Well, actually, it was later, because it's an amendment. It was after the Civil War. It was about getting the Confederates to calm their little jets and to recognize that it's not okay to try to overthrow the government. Hello? Let's see how it's going to go in Georgia. Can you guys see that sign? Because I have a different purview here. It says, delighted you're here. If it says lighted, that's okay too. How it's going to go in Georgia with Fani Willis. And Fani Willis is so strong, but she's a human being too. This is all this racist stuff has got to stop. You can see it? You can see it says delighted. Betty, Bunny, and Benny, who's covered up there, delighted that you're here. I'm delighted you're here too. We're all having a party, and we're delighted that you came. There is an attorney in Florida suing to enforce Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. Suing to enforce the... Yeah, okay, so it's kind of coming to the forefront. Aw, Cora's delighted to be here too. It's kind of coming to the forefront. Right now. So we're just looking at how it's going to go for the GOP, and you know, and I just keep getting it's gonna backfire on them. They're not very smart. I mean, which is to our benefit. They're not very smart. The right-wing, yeah, I haven't heard it called that. The right-wing Republicans. Full-on fascists. Well, true to what I'm saying, they're trying to manipulate the law in Georgia. I don't know, they're trying to add a law, they're trying to manipulate or reinterpret a law in Georgia that says that they can remove Fani Willis. Let's just call it what it is. Flat-out racism. And misogyny. Fani Willis is doing her job. That's why she studied law. That's how she got in her job. She's good at her job. She's doing what the job requires. And these people are showing that they're still Confederates and that they want slavery back, apparently, and they want women not to have rights. So they want to remove Fani Willis from the case she's worked on for over 2 years. Everything happens for a reason. So the magician is, they're trying to manipulate things. This is that they're backing themselves in a corner. And true to what my first impression was, it is gonna backfire. The Hermit card's coming up. It will backfire on them. They're getting less and less support. The fascists are getting less and less support. And yesterday, and Fani's way ahead of them anyway. And yesterday, I did a reading from the doc. Christine, you should pop by when I'm doing a reading outside in Gloucester, and we can hang out and do a reading while you're there. I was reading on Marjorie Trader Greene yesterday from the doc. Yeah, they are showing the world what crazy people they are. Wildflower wind. I called you wildfire wind. The other thing that happens during a Mercury retrograde, my understanding is you fumble words more. Marjorie Trader Greene is very freaked out. She's not trusting her boyfriend. I'm going to actually read on her next. What's her boyfriend's name? I know, I just don't care enough. Oh, congratulations on the win. I won first place in a certain age group in the 1 mile race. It was a small race, but it was fun. It got me back in the groove, which was great. Yeah, there's a huge problem with the media too. I mean, to put what's her name, Elisa Haba or Ms. Haba, to like on MSNBC, I see them like showing a clip of her as if she's a real lawyer. Am I sore? No, it was only a mile. Elena Haba, thank you. I mean, they should not put her up there as if she's legit, because she's like, you know, Ben Mysalis on Midas Touch says it's like right out of North Korea. So we're reading about Marjorie Trader Greene. I think she's starting to not trust her boyfriend. And I read on her last night, and it was, I think I got the death card. It's over for her. Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. She got chased off by MAGAs in Georgia. If you watch my video from yesterday, it's under videos. I read on her, but I'm reading on her again. Do we care about Marjorie Trader Greene? Do you want me to not read on her, Warren? Hey, Maria. I'm going to read on her anyway. Yes, her boyfriend, Marjorie Trader Greene's boyfriend, is holding on to secrets. There's nothing she can do about it. And the Queen of Cups. Okay, this is interesting because I feel Marjorie Trader Greene. It's looking like she's going to make a last-ditch effort to be good. I am reading on her. Marjorie Trader Greene is going to. I don't know, I kind of feel like she's going to realize she's in trouble and she's going to start trying to behave herself, but I don't think she'll be able to. She's going to have to surrender. Let me ask the pendulum. I don't trust her boyfriend to be working for her best interest. I do not, and I never did. I don't, I think she's a little dumb and she missed it. Does anyone know her boyfriend's name? Is Marjorie Trader Greene's going... Yeah, she's going to try to be good. I mean, the key word is try, Rita. I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you more when I, get a stronger impression. I mean, for her, trying to be good might be just being quiet. Not saying as much. Is Marge's boyfriend going to betray her and out? Yeah, I've always gotten that. Zachary, you just ask Alexa who Marjorie Trader Greene's boyfriend is, and it just comes up like that. We don't have to work at anything anymore. Well, if you don't care about her, I won't read on her. The end. We won't be reading on Marge again. Okay, let's go to Mark Meadows. I think Mark Meadows was being questioned for about 5 hours today. Well, people are saying they don't care about her, so I'm not going to read on her anymore. That was my answer. I think her boyfriend's going to betray her by taking her secrets and outing her. Yeah, Brian. His name is Brian. And he worked for some kind of a media outlet, or maybe he still does. Well, people are in the chat going, I don't care about that. I feel like I shouldn't read on it. Could it be the devil? What, her boyfriend? Oh, we're reading on Meadows right now. Just to recap, Marjorie Trader Greene's boyfriend is going to flip on her. Mark Meadows definitely flipped. Maria's, let's hear about her dirty linens. I think I've said enough. And I read on her yesterday, so look under the videos, the reading from the doc. Which was really cool, because there were some boats behind me that, were kind of like part of the reading. So let's Let's read on Mark Meadows. Oh, interesting. Six of Swords. This is, he's implicated in January 6th. He was definitely part of the planning of it. And so this is Mark Meadows. He was definitely, he was a big part of January 6th. January 6th, clinging to the emperor for a time. But Mark Meadows is going to try to save him, his little sorry you-know-what, from going into jail. Meadows' trial will be removed to the federal courts. I've never gotten that it would. Oh, thank you, Joe. She liked the reading yesterday. Warren, you can't just put a question, courts with a question mark, like without, I mean, I'm psychic, but don't make me work harder. I love you all so much. I read on Pinocchio yesterday. You have to check that. There's so much news, I don't want to reread on too many things. Mark Meadows did flip. Yes. Yes. I feel more that Mark Meadows flipped in Georgia. Did Jack Smith question him? It's hard to keep up. Love you too. Did Mark Meadows already go and was he already questioned in Washington by Jack Smith? I don't know. Maria enjoyed the members party. We had a members party on Saturday night. Mercury retrograde is alive and well. Hang on. I don't feel like that case will be moved to federal court. Yes, there's a podcast this week. It's tomorrow. Thanks for asking. 3 p.m. live Eastern Time, and it will be posted later in the day. Mark was already questioned by Jack. I feel like he spilled the beans more in Georgia. He gave more answers in Georgia. He was working hand in hand with the criminals on January 6th. Is Mark Meadows' plea to go to federal court? Is he going to win that? Is he going to get his way? No, I get no. Yeah, there's a lot of smoking guns, CM. You'd be amazed. Which is why I'm so incredulous that these guys are... Oh, I can't believe they're investigating us. And every single thing they say is exactly what they're doing. Every single... It's uncanny, almost. Every single accusation they make of the Democrats and of the Biden administration, everything, just watch it. Every single thing they accuse the Biden administration and the DOJ of doing is exactly what they are doing. It is the worst kind of projection because it's just continual. You can bank on it. If you want to know what they're doing, it's all confession if you really just look at it like that's what they're doing. Okay. Laura the lawyer? Serious projection. Yeah, it's serious projection. But if you want to know what the fascist Republicans are doing, the insurrectionist fascist Republicans that are trying to steal our government, trying to steal our democracy, listen to every single thing that they say. And you'll realize, okay, that thing that they're accusing, they're doing that thing. So, hi Liz. We won't hear the end of their treachery for 10 years. We won't ever hear the end of their treachery. Angela, I must agree, I'm so over watching MSNBC and CNN and all that too. I agree. I do still tune into MSNBC. There are a few anchors that I do like there. Okay, so let's read on Trump's lawyer. You know, they went in front of Judge Chutkan today. I told you it would be a huge day for justice. and she was so annoyed that they took a break. One of the tactics that fascists use is they are completely disrespectful. They have no honor. They have no integrity. They have, the fascists. If you listen to Rachel Maddow's podcast Ultra, and I recommend that to everyone, part of what she has researched and talks about is there's an incident. I don't remember the specifics, but I'll re-listen to it. So Rachel Maddow's podcast Ultra, which came out, I think it was last year or early this year. It's excellent. It's about the previous almost fascist takeover of the United States democracy. And she describes a court scene where it was so raucous and they were just purposefully attempting to destroy the whole process of the court. So it's unbelievable. I mean, because you're supposed to show respect. You're supposed to show. I mean, for that matter, just show respect for other people as humans. They don't have it in them. Yeah, Laura was performing for Trump. Definitely. I feel like, and this happens. Laura, that lawyer for Trump, is not the only one that I have felt that was just so under pressure from Trump to be a bully. So that's what they did. They went into Judge Chutkan's court and they were bullying her. So I'm going to, I think I read on, Betty's asking about, are they going to shut down the government in September? I'm pretty sure I read about that yesterday. I got no, that they would have to think better of it. Okay, I'm trying to keep your questions in my head because there's a lot of them. Right now I'm reading on Lawyer Lauro. I don't know his first name. I can only read on one sleaze bucket at a time, just so you know. I know that Jesse Waters said that Trump... I'm sorry, I just got sidetracked. Jesse Waters on Fox literally said, oh, I claim full heterosexuality, but Trump in that mugshot, look, he looked hard. What a doofus. I'm sorry. These people give me the heebie-jeebies. They're so creepy. All right. Lauro, the lawyer. I'm reading on him. Do I make the best manicotti in the world? Damon's asking. I actually do. And it's been a while since I made it because I didn't end up making it for the festival. Doofus. He's such a... I'm telling you what. This is Lauro. These are the cards that I get for Trump's lawyer, Lauro. And Trump is... I just hear him bellowing. I hear Trump bellowing on the phone to his lawyers and to Lauro. Because the more desperate Trump feels, the more that he feels that he's losing. And remember, if you read Mary Trump's book, that is the worst possible thing for Trump, is to be a loser. So here's his lawyer, Lauro, and Trump is putting the pressure on. See the judgment card? See the trumpet? It's like, to listen to Trump on the phone for Lauro is like somebody taking a big trumpet and standing right here and blasting it in your ear. I could see him maybe doing this, holding the phone away. So Lauro is being shown to be a fool. That and Mashed Potatoes, yeah. That was a good book by Mary Trump, that first one. The second one just got too dark and I couldn't keep reading it. She went into graphic detail about lynching and stuff. So anyway, I digress. So Lauro is feeling like a fool. Trump's lawyer, Lauro. It's a tongue twister. Yeah, he's a loser. Donnie is a loser and refuses to believe it. And the strength is Lauro is facing the strength of the court, like Judge Chutkan, and is having No luck with the strength of the judge. Let's ask this. Is Lauro going to continue being, is he going to continue with Trump to the end? To the end, the bitter end. Is Lauro going to stick with Trump to the bitter end? Is he going to stick with Trump to the bitter end? It looks like no. I don't see Lauro continuing to be Trump's lawyer. How much longer will Lauro stay on? Will it be a month? About a month. Let's ask this. Will it be less than a month that Lauro stays on as Trump's lawyer? It's going to be about a month. I'm surprised it's going to be that. I'm surprised he'd stick it with it that long. And speaking of people sticking with things, don't think I've forgotten about Florida. Florida is heavy on my mind right now. Will Trump win his appeal to move the trial from March 4th? We'll get to that. Trump will stand alone. I always have seen Trump isolated at the end. Nobody wanting anything to do with him. I'm going to see if I can answer all your questions. I'll do my best. Are you referencing whether Trump will succeed in getting the date moved? I don't really see that, because people are saying I was asking the same question. Will Trump succeed in getting the March 4th date moved? No. No. I think... Yeah, we're all taking deep breaths, James. We were talking about that. I even made everyone take a deep breath earlier. You might not have been here. Ann Hardick, have you heard about the lonesome loser? I got in trouble for being outside on the docks. Remember I said I might get a copyright claim, and there was a band playing Come on, people now, smile on your brother, but I can't keep singing it because YouTube is so strict about that. Yeah, I got a copyright claim. They didn't take it down, but they could have. I didn't monetize that one. Trump will not succeed in getting that date moved. And Judge Chutkin, she could even move it sooner. I mean, Jack Smith was going for the fastest possible date, just, you know, as a working point. Yes, Damon, if you hum a few bars, if you sing something on YouTube that belongs to someone else that's copywritten, I think I've had copyright claims on my own videos for my own songs. I just answered that. There must be a delay. I got. Yeah, that wasn't my fault. Well, I did know there was a band playing. The video's still up from yesterday, though, and you should really check it out because the light outside was just really special and beautiful. Jack is happy today. Electra Storm says she knows it. Okay, we gotta go. We gotta talk about Florida. I just want you all to know that I have advised people to not move to Florida and to maybe consider leaving Florida if they live there, if it's possible, for a couple of years now. I have said when people ask me about hurricane season, not that we're out of the woods where I live because we're right on the coast. Florida, the southern states tend to get hit more. I've said many times, oh good, I'm glad your parents are okay. We're praying for Florida. I've said many times, and I'm just going to say it again. If you live in Florida, you cannot count on Ron DeFascist to help you because Ron DeFascist doesn't care about you. Just like Donald Trump didn't care about people dying, especially if they lived in a blue state. Certified, that is certifiable. You can look, it's a factual thing. Donald Trump didn't want to help everybody during COVID. He didn't even care about his own people, right? He was still having rallies in the midst of Omicron and Delta. So Ron DeSantis does not care about the people of Florida. I'm not telling you that to be awful. I'm just giving you a reality check. This hurricane season is one for the history books. And today's August 28th, and this is when it starts. The end of August, and it goes well into the end of October. So, and what happened in Jacksonville on Saturday, on the same day as the 60th anniversary of Martin Luther King's assassination and his I Have a Dream speech. The universe is speaking to us. We've got to stand up. We have got to say we stand for love. We've never been called upon by the universe, God, whatever you believe in. We have never been called upon so strongly to stand for love. That's why I have that sign behind me. Celebrate the beautiful, loving, kind people. We don't see enough of that. If you watch the news, you don't see enough. Think about it. You don't see enough the beautiful, loving, kind people of them. There are 2 major hurricanes spinning now. Let's not forget. And I was saying last week, I know you all are observing this too. I'm just saying, we were talking about last week. I said every single week is a major climate disaster. And we're in a time where it's too much for our human psyche to understand. We have a question about Netanyahu from Judith from Israel. Did she post it? Because I can answer that, but right now I'm going to do Florida. But if she posts it, if somebody posts it, I'll ask. Oh, was it the anniversary of Emmett Till's death? Is it today? Yeah. So it's right in our faces, people. It's right in our faces. It's right there. We've got to stand for love. We have to. Ohio's having tornado warnings. Can you please do me a favor and repost her question, Maria? Because it's really hard for me to go up in the chat and find questions. I've tried and it's hard. So Ron DeSantis gets up there, and I don't know how he lives with himself, but I guess malignant narcissists just they love how horrible they are, and they just pride themselves on being horrible, and it's not going well for him. And I told you that by August it's going to be over, and we're already in the last week of August, and Ron DeSantis is done. He's fried. He's cooked. He's toast. The audacity of him to go to that, I guess it was a vigil or a memorial for those poor people that were in the dollar store that were just killed. We gotta stop gun violence. See, I've got signs everywhere. Stop gun violence. The nerve of him to even freaking show up. When he was the one that passed laws for permitless carry. And he's the one that makes people, he wants to make people behave as if the black culture doesn't exist. What is this crap? What's that? That saying, silence is compliance. We gotta rise up. We really do, and we are. So, thank you for being involved and getting more involved. What Israel can expect from Netanyahu and his crappy activities. Okay, let me just digress from Ron DeSantis for a second. When I read on Netanyahu before, and all the demonstrations are going on, they're probably still going on. I saw that Netanyahu was going to be arrested. I feel like justice is going to come for Netanyahu. You can ask about Israel. It's fine. It's no problem. I just didn't see your question. I did read on this before a couple months ago when there were a lot of demonstrations everywhere. I felt like he would be arrested for his crimes. Is Netanyahu going to be arrested for his crimes? That's what I get. Time is a little bit hard to... We're rooting for you over here, Israel. We're rooting for you. Is Netanyahu going to be... Yeah, I get that he's going to be held accountable for all the crimes he's committed. That's kind of a strong yes. So I hope that helps. Yeah, I answer as many questions as I can. And so you can ask about anything in the world, too. No problem. It's just that we're here in the United States and we know that what happens here affects everything, so we're all connected. Yeah, so just, we'll keep visualizing that for you. We'll visualize him in prison. Okay, so that was Netanyahu. Meanwhile, back to Ron DeFascist. We're going to pull 3 cards about how he's doing. There's always a way, Rita. If there's not a way to recall the governor, they will make a way. They'll create a way. But I think he's just going to bury himself. Ron DeFascist. He already is burying himself. How's it going to go for him? Well, it looks like... These cards, they're making me laugh. It's clear as clear can be how unfit he is. The communication about how unfit he is going to be very, very, very clear. And who's the, is it Deegan? She the mayor of Jacksonville? I think her name is Deegan. I've been telling you all along for months now. August is the deadline for DeSantis' reign for president. I mean, his campaign. Hey, John. Everything that Ron DeFascist has done is going to become crystal clear. Crystal clear. And these storms are going to make what Ron DeFascist has not done too. He doesn't... All this energy and all this money and all these resources that he's spent promoting racism, all that he's done promoting racism, all that time, all the resources, all the energy, all the massive amounts of presentations about we need to Florida is where woke goes to die, and we need to, if I'm president, I'm going to slit everyone's throat. And this is Ron DeFascist, right? He could have been, if he was an actual real governor, let's just imagine, Ron is an actual, we'll imagine somebody else as a governor, because it's too much of a stretch to imagine Ron DeFascist as an actual governor. Going after Disney, it's unbelievable. We could have a huge long list of the horrible things that he's done and how much time he's taken and how much energy and money he's stolen from the residents of Florida. It's unfreaking believable. Imagine for a second that you could get all that time and energy and resources back, put it in the hands of a governor, a new governor in Florida, who right now would be doing everything possible that he can to keep the Florida citizens safe in the hurricanes. There's no excuse. He belongs in jail, and for many, many times I said I saw him in handcuffs. And what I see is with these horrible happenings in Florida, it becomes crystal clear. The message becomes crystal clear about who he is. He's doing less than nothing for the people of Florida. Minus negative. I do feel... there's a female... I'm thinking of Deegan, right? That's the mayor's name. She's a Democrat. Mayor of Jacksonville. Handcuffs and white go-go boots. Just keep imagining that. He needs to go. He absolutely needs to go. And I know people have said in the chat repeatedly, oh, we can't do anything about him being governor of Florida because there's no recall in Florida. Well, hello. There's a lot of things that we're doing now that were never done before. There are new laws that are made. There are laws that are, that get more bills and laws that get more teeth so that they're stronger. And also this, I want to read specifically on what impact this shooting, he just promotes hatred. He promotes hatred and he promotes violence. I mean, like Trump, when Trump said I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it, that's promoting violence. They're always promoting violence. And then they, like Ron DeSantis, messes with the voter suppression, messes with the redistricting and all that he does to make sure that people can't vote, right? And that's how he got his power. So I'm going to read on this hateful rhetoric that Ron DeSantis has been spewing out of his evil, demonic mouth. I'm just going to keep saying fascist, 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 because they don't say it enough on the news, if they even say it. They're starting to say it more. If he's going to have to pay the price for the violent rhetoric against the black community, I mean, it's so, it boggles my brain, like it boggles all of your brains. Most people don't care what color someone's skin is. It doesn't matter. Just like if someone's gay, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not just like that, but it's just like, in terms of things that it just doesn't even cross my mind to not like the person for some way that they are. Unless they're mean. And I'm talking about all people, not just people of different color or, Anyway. I just can't even believe we're still talking about this in 2023, that we're still talking about these racist people. What are we going to do about them? So as far as his talk around just discrimination and taking black history away from Florida, and it's unbelievable. Oh yeah, David Hogg. David Hogg already is in politics. David Hogg is the student activist who was part of he was a survivor at the shootings in Florida, Parkland. And he's got a new... Is anybody in the chat that remembers David Hogg's new organization? There's so many Democratic organizations. Something about leaders, or look it up. David Hogg's new organization. Let's throw all our weight behind them. So as far as Ron DeSantis, in the face of these shootings that were strictly about racism, he's a fool. He is a fool. We don't have any MAGA people here. We don't have any MAGA here in this chat. He's a fool. Yeah, David Hogg is doing great things. And that's the generation that's coming up. That's, there's more and more that are coming into voting age. He might be 20. So this is the people coming together, healing one another's grief about all these shootings in Florida. And they're stronger. They're stronger than this fool. A helicopter crashed into an apartment complex. Breaking news. Where? I do think Ron DeSantis is in trouble. The justice system is overwhelmed right now. In Florida, a helicopter crashed into so there's another disaster. Just now. I wonder what made it crash. I did not see that. I'm telling you, it's one disaster after another. Everybody take a sip of their drink. I'm gonna have some seltzer. A moment of silence for the people that yeah, interesting. So somebody's saying they got a hit about David Hogg. He developed an eating disorder because of the shooting. Or you mean you psychically picked that up? Well, a lot of things. can develop lots of disorders from trauma. Believe me, I've counseled a lot of people. All right, I'll find out about what happened with the helicopter crash. Unfortunately, I do think people perished, but we should read on something cheerful for a moment. What can it be? I'm laughing because I'm really stretched to think about reading them on something cheerful. If we vote the idiots out, where will they inflict their craziness next? So, Sunshine, what I want to say is that this is what I want to say about voting in the election. If there were, hear me out, if there were an election for president today, right now, if there were a presidential election right now today, if it were a free and fair, true democracy election, just if it happened today, and if it were free and fair, and there wasn't any voter suppression, gerrymandering, trying to tell people to bring 5 types of ID for their vote and all that for their ballot. If we had a free and fair democratic election today, it would be like total landslide, blue wave, Democrats. That's what would happen. My point is, remember how badly Trump botched COVID and how mad so many people were? So the people that were kind of like undecided, they're like, whoa, I lost my, relative or my friend, or, I got COVID or whatever, or almost died. Or people were really mad at Trump for botching COVID. And anyone who was on the fence about him, which I can't even imagine why you would be, it changed their mind. They didn't vote for them. And people don't want a convicted felon who committed crimes against the United States as the next person in the White House. There's no, I mean, talk about, just screw my entire life up and take away all my rights and privileges that I enjoy as a citizen of the United States. People don't want that. People don't want that. They do not want that. If you say to somebody, well, I know that you enjoy, the way that you worship, I enjoy like Wicca, I even enjoy having a church, and, I enjoy the work that I do. And, if somebody came along and was like, all those rights that you have, I don't want you to have them, so I'm going to take them away. Would you, if it was up to you, would they have your vote? We're all in this together, right? So I'm going to actually read. I'm going to pull 3 cards. Yeah, we've been there and almost didn't survive it. Absolutely true. And I'm just going to reiterate something that I mentioned before, which was a few weeks ago on my daily, outdoor exercise jaunt, during which I always pray fervently for our country, I might add, just silently. I said, dear God, please save us from Donald Trump. This was just like a few months ago, maybe a few weeks ago. And I told you this before, but it bears repeating. And I got a really instant piece of guidance. When I said, please save us from Donald Trump, I already did. God said, I already did. We can't take our eye off the ball, but I got that the worst that Trump was going to do had passed. So I'm actually going to pull 3 cards about the direction of the populace right now in terms of the next election. And I just want you to know that we hear about the MAGA people way, 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 way more than we hear about most, the other people that are most of the people. What's going on in the populace right now regarding our government and our democracy? 45 created the toilet paper shortage too? Hadn't heard that. Laura's here and she just tuned in. Oh, are you in Florida? Really be careful. Okay, well, I'll tell you where the American people are right now in terms of what's going on, you know, how they're thinking about voting in the next election. We will see a turn of events for the better for democracy, and this has to do with justice. This is a celebration card. Yay, finally they got him. More and more and more and more. More and more. Thank you, Sharon, for being a great publicist for me. Yeah, interesting. The more we see fairness in our judicial system, we're going to see a change of events. We're going to be celebrating. We're going to be happy about it. And we're just going to keep plodding away. Way more good people than evil people. That's why I made my sign, which was not this past Friday, but the Friday before, after I saw a clip of Josh Shapiro signing a bill that gives low-income children free breakfast at their schools. That's when I made that sign. And this one here that is probably hard to see, it says love multiplied. I saw Ken Burns on having some interview, and Ken Burns said that he has a flag that says love multiplied on it. So I wrote that. I loved it, so I wrote love multiplied and I hung it on my wall. I have words all over my walls everywhere. Let's see. Yeah, let's send light and protection to the people of Florida. I mean, the amazing thing is we're still thinking about the people in Maui. Which, just as a side note about Maui, remember I was ranting about Maui and how the developers were like hovering, and I felt something nefarious going on with all that Maui wildfire, you know, all that tragedy. There was too much sitting around and letting things just happen, and I was very suspect. And then I started to see, I saw a couple of YouTube videos that backed up what I was saying. DeSantis' wife looks scared. Huh. Let's take a little commercial break. If you'd like to book a reading, it's psychic.AnnetteDion.com, and you surely want to book a reading because it's a full moon in Pisces, blue moon. So think about it. Thomas is saying bottle drop. It's not very busy out there today on Main Street, but we may hear a bottle drop. Psychic.AnnetteDion.com. If you want to develop your psychic skills, you really want to take my 6-week class, Seriously Psychic. Actually, it's called Seriously. Are You Psychic? Anyway, psychic.AnnetteDion.com. Learn how to be a psychic. Learn how to channel. Learn how to do automatic writing. Learn how to do psychometry. Learn how to be clairvoyant. Learn about mediumship. I'm just reeling off things that I think I put in the course. Anyway, it's going to be 6 Saturdays starting September 23rd in a row. And you also get a recording of the class. If you attend the class, you get a recording of the class. So Seriously, Are You Psychic? That's a course that starts September 23rd. Sign up. I only have one person signed up. I need to promote it more. October 11th, I don't have the PR information, nor do I have tickets yet, but just mark your calendar if you want to buy a ticket to Tarot in 2 hours in the Castle. I'll be teaching a class on how to read all the tarot in 2 hours. It's going to be like a marathon. Or a fast 1 mile dash. I'll let you know more about that as the time approaches. Please join Grassroots of Democracy. We have meetings on Tuesday night where we do a meditation for a healed America, followed by a recap of the readings from Sunday's Church of Spirituality. You definitely want to check it out. Go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com to get a Zoom invite tomorrow morning for our meeting. And please join Grassroots of Democracy, and please become a member. There are perks when you become a member, and one is that you get an affirmation in your inbox, in your email, every morning. So, and we had once a month at the High Priestess level and the world level, once a month you get to come to a psychic party where, you know, it's kind of like anything goes. For an hour we get together. So There's more, but that's all I can think of right now. And please watch Church of Spirituality, because it makes your life better. And I've even started to say it's made my life better to have this church for 2.5 years now. Okay, let him bankrupt his base. Throw up your questions that you are dying to know. Because I'm in that place where there's so many questions I could ask. So. Hey, Moonchild. Read on Boobert? Wow, we haven't heard much out of her. You know, before I do that, I'm going to read on Jim Jordan, because I do remember people were asking about Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan is trying to get, I don't know, he's trying to get all the notes. Didn't he do this before? He's writing to Fonnie Willis, you owe us the notes of the investigation. It's like, duh! Will DeSantis crack out his white boots tomorrow? Gosh, I don't think that went well for him before. You know what I saw? And I posted it. There was a picture of Ron DeFascist being chased by Mickey Mouse. Did you guys see that? I do. I'll read on Jim Jordan in a sec, but I do have to see if I have that at the ready. I might not. No, I do. Did you guys see this? Did you guys see this? Freaking hilarious. I put it on my community page. If you want a picture of it, I can send it to you. AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. He looks very scared. I don't. Photoshop is awesome, isn't it? The Pope blasted the Catholic Church for them putting politics over their faith. I don't think that's as much a Catholic thing. But good for him that he did that. I don't really see... It's more the evangelicals. But I'm glad he said something. Isn't that great? Yeah, okay, so what... Go, Mickey! Catch DeSantis! Beat him up! I'm just kidding. Alright, Jim Jordan. What's Jim Jordan's fate? I already got the... He's not going to get what he wants from Fonnie Willis. They're being lawless. They're being disrespectful and they're being lawless. And what they're really attempting to do is intimidate. It's fascism. It's fascism. So Jim Jordan's trying to intimidate Fonnie Willis. Well, you know, I watched Fonnie Willis, as we all did, read that indictment. And I didn't see anything that was intimidating to her. And if anybody is in a position to feel intimidated, just to be in that position, it will be Fonnie Willis. And Jack Smith, too. And don't get me wrong. These are human beings that have feelings. And that their lives are being threatened all the time. And Jim is obstructing justice. So let's ask this. Will Jim Jordan be cited for obstructing justice? Is he going to be called out for obstructing justice? Yes. Yes, I do get that. So let's read on Jim Jordan's fate. I've always thought that Jack Smith and Fonnie Willis were helping each other with their, you know, what they're doing with their court investigations and everything. And even though I hear so many times on the news, no, they don't really talk to each other, I disagree. Fonnie's got this. That's true. This is about Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan can't find anybody to love him. Poor baby. Please hit the thumbs up, speaking of love. It helps me, and I appreciate it very much. Those of you who have. Jim Jordan's going to be feeling all out in the cold and all alone, and he needs to do a little bit of soul searching there, Jim Jordan. Mr. Hubbada Hubbada Hubbada. There's a lot of people I could say that about right now. Hubbada Hubbada Hubbada. Like, there's a lot of people that are in trouble with the law right now. That completely, they say one thing one week, and then the next week they change their story completely around. He's too smelly. Jim Jordan, yeah, Ted Cruz smells too. Physically. Let's see. You think Mark Elias and his team are single-handedly saving America with their lawsuits and winning? Yes, join Democracy Docket. They're doing amazing things. We need first and foremost, we need gerrymandering and redistricting and voter suppression. We need that stopped. Oh, thank you. Thank you for, Sissy is saying, leave a comment on my video. While you're on the topic, you may have noticed that I hardly ever, just a little segue, I hardly ever respond to comments. And that's because I get really overwhelmed about, should I say something to this one and not say something to that one? Or, it's, I read your comments and I really, really, really appreciate them. I meant to say that. As far as Jim Jordan goes, yeah, he's looking for someone to love him. The Six of Cups, he was... It's amazing to me how many 6 cards I get. Like 6 of Cups, 6 of Wands, 6 of Swords. Around people who were involved in the insurrection. Sarah Palin wants a civil war for Donald Trump. She needs to go back to sleep. But Jim Jordan's going to be left out all alone. Like, nobody else wants to get in the trouble that he's getting into, but they will. He better shut up because he's putting the spotlight on himself and January 6th by just being out there being even more of a buffoon who's breaking the law, who's obstructing justice. Jim Jordan is not in a happy place. I don't think he ever was in a happy place, but he's married, isn't he? He's looking for love in all the wrong places, yeah. Sarah Palin is trying to stay relevant? Not. Yeah, she needs to hang it up. I mean, I think Sarah Palin, I don't know how we got into her, because I do think she said something about us in a civil war, but that's just so weird. Yeah, Jim Jordan is looking for people to love him that were in on the insurrection too, but he's not getting a lot of support. What I see Jim Jordan doing is conferring with his fellow insurrectionists to see if they can put a plan together. That's what he's doing. He needs to go. Let's see. Will Jim Jordan be in trouble with the law for obstructing justice? I already did get a yes on that. Will Jim Jordan be in trouble for being part of January 6th? Yes. Yes. Oh, Chuck's here with the quotes. Thank you, Sharon. Much appreciate you putting my info up there. Is Ginny Thomas going to be arrested? Is Ginny Thomas going to be arrested? Well, I don't think it's going to be arrested because the pendulum's giving me the runaround. I don't think it will be arrested. Will Ginny Thomas be held accountable for her role in January 6th? She will be held accountable. I don't see a full-on arrest. Held accountable, definitely. Gosh, I wonder what that would mean. I don't think that I read yet on, yeah, Ginny was so involved. So something's going to happen to her, but I'm not really getting very much clarity. Will Ginny Thomas, I don't know, let's try this. Will she be under house arrest? No. I'm going to ask another question about Ginny Thomas. Will she be forced to leave the country? She might be forced to leave the country. Is Clarence going to resign? Yep. Yeah, I'm not seeing her arrested, but I'm seeing them forced to leave the country. No, I didn't see house arrest. Ginny under house arrest? No, I asked that. Wasn't she already indicted? Or maybe she was questioned. Will Ginny Thomas be indicted? Yeah. Yes. Flee to avoid, flee. I do see them flee. I see them going to another country. Well, their billionaire buddies, you know, took them all over the world, so they probably have friends in every country. Hang on, I'm on Ginny right now. We'll go to Roger Stone in a sec. Are Ginny and Thomas? Are the King and Queen Thomases? Are they gonna flee the country? Yes, I get that they're gonna flee the country. Strongly. They can't take the pressure anymore. Oh my goodness! I forgot I have tea. Remember when I said we need to read on something happy? I think of Joe Biden when I think read on something happy. Isn't that great? All those people with yachts. Yeah, that was a huge one. You can see it if you watch my video from yesterday. There was a big yacht covering up the historic paint factory on the water. I don't know who it belonged to. I'm reading on Joe Biden. How's he doing? How you doing, Joe? In the midst of the pain and the sorrow and the heartache and the gaslighting and people trying to take over our government, Joe Biden is standing strong. They are standing strong. I see the founding fathers have Joe Biden's back. They really do. In the midst of all the bloodshed and the lawlessness and the fascists and the gaslighting and Hunter and just these horrible things, and people saying that global climate change is a hoax, the Republicans, Joe Biden is staying strong. Staying strong. It's really remarkable. That man is a guiding light for our nation, and we all need to start pressuring the news organizations. We need to pressure them. A great president. And now for the opposite end of the spectrum, we're going to pull 3 cards on Trump. Lois is sorry she's late. Yeah, well, it's okay. You can read it. You can rewind. How's Trump doing? There's going to be swift action against Trump. This is Fani Willis. I've been getting the Chariot card a lot. So things are really accelerating for Trump's trials. Let me ask this. Is it possible for the March 4th date to be moved to sooner? Unclear. Okay, well, we'll just let that hang there. Yeah, I just wondered if I was just wondering if he just continues to misbehave and he's also misspelling Trump's tweets or whatever the heck he's doing. I saw today that he spelled rumor. Trump spelled rumor R-O-O-M-E-R. And then he spewed some lie after the word. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, don't compare me. Joe Biden says, don't compare me to the Almighty, compare me to the alternative. Just so you know, the American people get it. The American people get it. Don't think that the American people don't get it. Honestly. You saw rumor spelled like R-O-O-M-E-R? Yeah, Trump has lost his mind. This is a sword of truth. This is a chariot. Things are coming down quickly. I see this as Jack Smith and Fani Willis right now. And remember, the Letitia James case against the Trump Grift Co., we call it in our little circles, we call it Grift Co., is in October, which is going to be here before we know it. Yeah, the media needs to get off Trump, that's for sure. Well, you know, be grateful. People think of Trump as not smart. He's his emotional fireworks. His emotional IQ is very, very, very low. Very low. Do you hear that bang? I don't know what that is. It sounds like fireworks. All right, let's see. I'm going down the list of things we really need to read on before we go. Comparing Joe with Trump is like comparing Einstein and a monkey. It's true. I totally agree with you, Kamala. Yeah, so let's visualize what we want to happen. We want that 14th Amendment put into effect. Oh, Lois just became a member. Yeah, become a member. It's just like a subscription. You can cancel it anytime too. It supports the channel. And you get good perks. There's a rumor Trump's a boomer. If you don't claim him. Okay, so I'm just reading the chat. You think Trump dictates his tweets to someone else who then types them and doesn't know how to type? Doesn't know how to spell? It's really bad. It's very despicable. Let's just read on what this... let's do this. Let's read on the full moon, the blue moon, and Pisces energy. What's that going to produce? I feel better after my crazy screwed up day now that we've been together and sharing. By the way. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, that's in the description. Much appreciated. Okay, so as far as this full moon energy, it's a good time. I'm just reading on the general energy for all of us to lighten it up a little bit with this full moon. And don't forget, we have an astrology show, Spirit Talk Podcast, which is right here on my channel. Live streaming at 3 tomorrow. Don't forget. As far as the energy of this moon, the Eight of Pentacles, it's a really good time to get stuff done. You know, it's just like today I was just really feeling like, which is unusual for me, I don't like to organize and clean, but I really felt like I wanted to today. This full moon feels like it's bringing on the energy of wanting to clear. Yeah, I just feel better about the day. I'm just talking about the energy of the day where I had appointments, I missed them, they weren't working out. It's just plans didn't go as planned. And that's the energy of the all these planets being retrograde. Sometimes you just have to go, it's a wash. We'll go at it again tomorrow. But the full moon energy this is a really good time to get down and to make plans and to decide what you want, you know, to focus on for the next month, you know, till the next full moon. It's a time of great change. Set your life up so that you can adjust your, you know, everything that needs to be adjusted for change to happen. I recommend that people become minimalists because you got to be able to move. And the Seven of Wands, yeah, another good card for projects. The join button is next to the subscribe, I believe. Please join. Then you can come to a party. The next psychic party will be, if you're a member, will be the 30th. It's the last Saturday of the month. In October, I'll have to change that because I'm the psychic at the Goblin Ball at the Medieval Castle on October 28th. Yeah, it's a good time to pare down. I feel like we all have to collectively prepare for the changing tides. That's literal too. Okay, before we go, I have to read the tea leaves, but I have time for one more tarot card question. I haven't finished my tea yet. All right, everybody focus your energy in the tea. Focus your energy on the tea leaves. We're all being psychic together. Suzanne had a weird day. I was talking about that at the beginning of the vid. Yeah, the tea is cold. It's ice cold. You get to see me at the haunted castle. It's not a mansion. It's actually a castle. If you take the tarot in 2 hours, it's going to be October 11th. I don't have any PR about it yet. It's $99 to learn tarot in 2 hours from a castle. Live streaming. Well, looky here. It seems like the last several times that I've read the tea leaves, we keep getting the planets. This is the Cup of Destiny. You can purchase this. Here's a book, The Cup of Destiny. And it has these little sections. But we keep on getting, Mars and Mercury. A lot of tea leaves in Mars and Mercury. So that's a lot of energy in kind of fighting and communication. But there is a horseshoe, and I see a butterfly. I see a butterfly, and I see a bridge. And the horseshoe is good luck, and there's lots of good luck pouring out of the horseshoe. There's a lot of tea leaves under the horseshoe, and I see it's kind of dark. I see it looks like a person skiing downhill, and that's Mercury. That's that reminds me of when I was saying I've said frequently that when the law hits, when the indictments come, when the felonies come, the evidence comes, it's going to be like dominoes. So I see somebody skiing downhill quickly, and I see a horse. There's a lot of tea leaves here that are indicating really fast-moving energy, like the Chariot card. And isn't that lovely? The sun is like, that's new beginnings. I see a moose. I see a moose. Let's see if there's a moose in here. I'm not sure, but I just want to check and see. There's a mouse. I don't think that's the same. But I would say that I definitely see a moose. What are moose known for? Where's Cheryl? She's in Maine. It's strong and steady, and they're slow moving, and just we're learning to be patient and to wait. The moose is loose. We're learning to be patient and to wait, and then we have Venus too. The kind of the steadiness of the maternal energy, just kind of waiting. Yeah, elk. Yeah, it's just that I don't think there's an elk in here either. I gotta look a little further. I just go with my impressions mostly, but I was curious. Yeah, it's about slow, strong, steady energy. Yeah, slow, strong, and steady. And I always do see a broom sweeping up the muck. And there's a lot of things to be hopeful about, and mostly it's people coming together. I see people coming together. Let's remember, fierce mothers, yeah, kind of mama moose energy. Let's remember that yesterday there was a 100,000 people march. I think it was in Washington. Wasn't who a moose? I don't know. There's a moose on the loose, but it's good. 100,000 people marched for civil rights, and on the anniversary of Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech and the assassination. So that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. So let me leave you this evening with this. There are most all American people want democracy to continue, and we'll do what it takes. And definitely join Grassroots of Democracy. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com. We're doing more work than any other democracy organization that I can think of, so we're going to really start pushing. PsychicAnnetteDion.com is where you go to find out more about what I'm up to. And I'm so grateful that you've been here with me tonight and all of us together. And I hope that it uplifted your spirits. Please watch Church of Spirituality too. All right. See ya. Namaste. Be good to yourselves. You're awesome. See ya.